like time slot where they do
Hello,
their big
hello,
yearly like
hello.
roadmap.
Welcome,
Hello.
welcome.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Hello.
Welcome
We're
to
chilling.
episode 51. Yes, 51 of the Get Good
We got the
podcast.
W's in the fucking chat. Hogwarts grind right now.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Look
It's
at all the
almost been a
shout
year.
My
outs.
man is on.
Yeah,
demon time, bro.
like technically,
My man is
22nd is the
slaying
first
some
time
people.
we did our first
We
episode.
chilling, dropping some
So
love
next
before
episode
I
is
start.
technically
Hey, I
our
appreciate
anniversary,
you for
but we
popping
did it
in, bro.
last week because it was
Shit,
episode
you know we
50,
gonna
and I
be out
also
here
wanted to
helping
make
you out,
like a
supporting you,
special,
just
so it
like
would be
always.
only like we're not gonna do two specials in the same month, so we made it
W stream for sure.
the
Absolutely.
last episode. But welcome, Naled. Always good to have you.
What up?
How you doing?
Of course. Oh, I'm doing good. Just chilling.
Awesome. Cast, welcome.
Hey, thanks so much, man.
Welcome. Darkus Pono. Is he there?
Hey.
Spirit, still playing.
Hi.
Welcome. Vader, hello.
Hello.
I'm moving over.
Alright. And Volume, who
What up?
who has a lot of things to say about Epic 7 update, which I'm excited for. One of the characters getting a good skin.
Mm-hmm.
So, the topic of this episode is gonna be about the Holy Relics in Grand Cross, because it's something that I feel like this is what in-game Grand Cross is, because we don't have anything else other than the demonic beasts to do, which quote as in-game. It's not really in-game in my opinion, it's just you summoning for characters that help you beat this content, so it's like content locked behind characters. But recently Cinder Descents got the dragon, which is the hardest content in the game. And if you're below Constellation 5, I don't think he can beat that. He shouldn't even... I mean, maybe he beat Floor 1, but the rest is really hard to try. Like... I'm gonna ask this question again. Cast, have you attempted doing the dragon?
God no. I'm probably like what, Constellation 3 to
Yeah.
4. So like yeah, I'm not anywhere close to even doing it.
Yeah. DC, I don't really know the answer. But are you gonna give it a try? One day? Naled, have you attempted at least floor 1?
Yeah, so I've been doing floor 1 each week.
Okay.
The first week it was actually really not bad, but I could have just been like me getting lucky with card pulls and everything. The last week when I tried to do it, or I guess it was just this week on reset. God, I kept getting really bad RNG. I'm using the cheesy King Bond like Valenti team, and
Yeah.
dude, it's so annoying. Like if you don't get the right cards, or like you don't plan ahead or whatever, you get ulted and then Bond loses all of his stacks. It completely destroys the whole run. Like I have zero desire to play floor 2, at least until like a Nidhogg unit comes out. Like they don't even have to have a relic, but I'm not doing floor 2 until it's somewhat easier.
Yeah. There's a lot of RNG involved in it too. Vader, I don't think you play. But have you attempted?
Yeah, no, I have not attempted, no.
Yeah. Volume, I've seen you play, but I don't know.
Yeah, I log in daily and log out just so I have some kind of diamond income, just in case, here in a few months another catastrophe unit is, and I could hook a content creator up.
I will tell you something. You at least need to do it once a week. Like, if you just try to attempt floor 1 to get that one drop that you get free from the top. Because Awakened Mono is gonna be from there. So, I'm just saying.
If that's the case, I'll just wail for the artifact and let Naled showcase it, and then never play the game again.
But
I think you had a good point though. I think that it really doesn't feel like in-game content. Like even Like, I mean, it's in-game in the sense that you pretty much have to have all of your units, like, completely maxed out if you want to have the best chance at playing it, but I guess you could kind of argue that with anything, sort of,
Yeah.
well, I mean, maybe not the story. Like, just regular stages and stuff like that's pretty easy with just not even maxed out units, but
Mhm.
it really does feel like, you know, once they release characters that are like, oh, this character passive only works in Nidhogg,
Yep.
only works in dogs, like, that doesn't really make it very end game. Like that does make it really specific. Like, I mean, yeah, like once that character comes out, you can make a lot of different kinds of teams because it's helpful for the game mode and everything. But
Yeah.
I don't know, unless you're just purposefully, I guess, just avoiding the unit to make it harder and more interesting on yourself. Like, why would you even bother like trying to do it without the unit that's designed for it?
Can people beat the wolves without Thonar? I think it is possible, but it's gonna take a long time to like a lot of RNG too. I feel like Thonar is yeah.
There's always those people, like whenever the game modes first come out, like new bosses come out, there's always people who are able to beat it, you know, all 3 floors and everything before the unit comes out. And I would assume like as newer characters come out that are, you know, have higher stats and new festival units come out that are insane and crazy and everything, like you can add those characters to the team and probably not have to worry about the specific unit, but once that specific unit comes out, like you're pretty much just going to run that unit on every single team that you see. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, like we're saying, because it's fun content. Like, define fun in Grand Cross. Like, fun for me is PvP with no consolation. You know?
Guys.
Yo, Afro,
I don't
welcome,
think
welcome.
it's
Even
I just don't think it's
you don't even talk,
wording though.
I didn't what?
you don't
I
even
don't
talk
think it's for.
I don't know what he's saying. Hold on.
You don't even talk to me.
I didn't talk to you.
Don't
Wait,
even,
what?
don't even talk to you. What do you mean?
Wait, we are having a podcast, but nobody's talking. I asked the question hours ago.
What question?
So sad. Check. Oh my god, this is what I mean. Check the podcast, gang.
Oh, I wasn't.
We
I'm
were
sorry.
we were a little preoccupied this past like hour or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Afro.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Welcome back. Welcome, Nylet.
Hello.
Hello. We were talking about the like defining fun in Grand Cross. It's like letting people to have fun with the easy thing that they can like allow it, like gear gacha, cosmetics discount, which they've done, which is good. We got it finally after a year. So I guess it's gonna be a yearly thing to have cosmetics discount, but gear gacha it has been over a year and a half, and we haven't had gear gacha, so there's no point of having gold in the first place.
I am in the belief that Gear Gacha will never come back. The reason is... Oh, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say I don't really understand the point of them like gatekeeping that one so hard. Like, it seems like obviously they don't want people to just endlessly farm,
Gold.
I guess, anvil and hammers or whatever. But
That's what
I
bundles
mean,
are
gear's a big
for.
part of the game in general. Like, like they put the limit on gold where you can't have over 1 billion gold.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's just to stop the whales. Like whenever I was able to play on that guy's like 14 million box CC account, like he almost had gold cap. And on top of that, his inventory, he just had stacks on stacks on stacks of UR gear chests, or UR gold chests, like ready to sell. And he was just like, I'm waiting for the gear gotcha event. And I'm like, I've never really cared about it that much. I'm sure it's really good and it's worth like investing into and everything. But like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why they're like the devs are combating it so hard. I don't like if people want to farm a whole bunch of anvils and hammers, like who cares? Like they play the game, who cares?
That's what I also think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liquid said.
What Nalatin is exactly, but I'm also coming to the point that I'm going to say, like, there's not coming. I think that's my opinion again, and with another friend I talked about this. There's not going to be a double rates gear gacha because they reduced the stamina cost for gold
The gold
the entire
stages.
week. Yes, the gold stages now. So what they can do, they maybe set it up for 1 billion. So the billion gold is meant to be a cap for people. Hey, spend your gold now and then use it on the gear gacha. That's also a perfect time. You know what I mean?
The thing is
So
that
people
that 1 billion gold wouldn't get you as much as like
no, but
100
it's better.
million. Like no,
It's better
100.
than. Go on.
I'm just
No, but
saying.
it's better than before. You know what I mean? Like before, we only had like 1 day to farm gold, and then you could spend it on the gear gacha. But now you
Yes,
can do it
but
all the time.
the rates are still bad. You can right now salvage 100 million in the gear gacha. You maybe get like I don't know 30 hammers, which is not enough.
Yeah, I've done it relatively recently, and you really don't get as much as you would think you would get. Like it's a couple hundred anvils.
Yeah.
I have
you know.
what are those things that give out every 2 weeks that are for the limited dungeon? I have a full like I'm maxed like because I don't play anymore, and I have some in my mailbox. So
Dude,
like how many would I get out of
Nobody
max?
wants to use those. Everybody, like people will message me or like I'll see screenshots of people's accounts and they'll have like a complete stack of those, and they're like, "Bro, I don't have any anvils or anything," and I'm like, "Dude, use those. Like they're so good." Like there's a reason why they've made it every 2 weeks and not every week. Like you got to use those. Like I understand, like you don't play the game as much. Completely
Well, I think
fair.
what they should do, and this is something that Ep.51 does, is make background battling a function. That's where you play the game and you can have it going on in the background and do something else.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is a really good feature.
Yeah,
It
but
is.
That's I also played in. There are some similar games like that. Like basically what they do with the auto farm in Grand Cross is already a god given.
I think Slime. Yeah, Slime is the game that did
Slime
that too.
this. Slime,
yeah,
Slime. Thank you.
You
Slime
can
was perfect for
farm
that.
in the background and then go live your life.
Yeah, you can just you set the farm and then you turn off the game, and it still
Yeah.
keeps on going after a few hours.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
that's
a good
what's
quality
nice.
of life change. Like that's the thing. It's a gotcha game, so you want to do other things for a limited time, right? So it would be really smart from the add it back, just for burning gold or burning those little things that I never use.
But now
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
you're
I
saying
don't-
something stupid. Wait, you're trying to ask Net Marble to be smart. That is something that is very, very difficult for them. We all agree, right? We all agree. Net Marble and being smart is not their money maker. That's my point. That's my point.
Yeah, the thing is that they don't have any plans from like they did post their timeline for the releases this year, and it seems like Origins is not gonna drop this year, which is like
Wait, it's
okay,
not?
Maybe.
there's not confirmation, but it's not in the list. Like they listed a lot
Yeah,
of
but-
games. There's Grand Cross W, and there's a lot of games that they're gonna release, and Origins is
Grand
not
Cross
one
W?
of them. I don't know. It's
Wait, to be-
probably NFT game. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing: the longer they take on their new game, the better it should be off release with less excuses, right? Like, oh, we didn't have enough time to pause. So I'm okay if them taking the game quality, but it's Grand Cross. They're going to ruin it 2 months after, or it's Net Marble. So it doesn't really matter.
I hope not, since if they're gonna delay Origins, then they should take care of Grand Cross, like at least till Origins is out. Which, they even said that in the dev note, like they're gonna go back to the old ways. Which I don't know what are the old ways, but I hope that like that's the reason why this is the topic of this episode is the relics. Ned made 2 showcases on his channel. Go check them out for Red Zeldris and Blue Zeldris. I don't think any YouTuber already done this showcase, but go check them out. Red Zeldris is godly. He's one of the best units right now in the game with his relic. Blue
Yeah,
Zeldris, though. Tell us
Blue
about
Zeldris
both.
was a swing and a miss. Holy. Like, I mean, that unit has been like a travesty since he released. Like, everybody was like, holy, yeah, finally, we got a DPS Zeldris. I mean, well, I guess back then he came out at the same
Yeah.
time as Red Zeldris for us on Global, so it was kind of a support and a DPS at the same time. But every single Zeldris seems to be a support unit nowadays, like every single one of them except for Blue Zeldris. But the Holy Relic didn't really give him anything that he can use.
Yep.
Like, it gives him basic stats, of course, but even when I was like going over it and everything, and some of the comments that I got on that video, people were like I don't understand why they didn't at least give him like a buff to attack related stats or something like that, because his whole point is the crit, and it was like a huge meme even back when he first came out that like Blue Zeldris can't crit, and they finally have the opportunity with a lot of characters to give them, you know, a holy relic that'll actually support their playstyle. And I understand that they want to try to make it somewhat broad so that way all of the units that are going to share that holy relic can use it, but giving giving Zeldris a holy relic and not giving him some sort of like increased crit chance is a huge miss, and I feel like they do this way too often with holy relics.
Yeah, for example, they don't take into consideration that a red Zeldris is an entirely different unit than a blue Zeldris. It's nice that they have the same name and all that. You know, they don't want people to, you know, have too much things to do, basic or something. You know, I'm saying just something crazy, but basically what they should have done is make one holy relic for red Zeldris, make a different one for blue Zeldris, but that means that Netmarble again cannot be lazy, because that is what it is right now with the relics. Like, they are being lazy. You know?
Yeah.
They could dig themselves out of this hole if they were just to do balance patching, buffing units every, like, it doesn't have to be even like any, like, it'd be like 2 or 3 patches, big patches a year. Just change some of the units that need to be changed, because when you get a dead unit, they stay dead forever. And that's a big issue with it.
You know what's scary about this volume? They can actually do it, and it could be a good thing, but knowing Netmarble and how inconsistent they are, they can do a buff patch and buff like 3 units, and they're gonna forget that they actually can buff units. So they're gonna only buff 3 units, and they're gonna forget. They're not gonna buff anyone else.
I mean, they buff cards. Like, let's be honest, they do buff cards.
When was the last time they did buff cards?
The weak point, AoE.
That was since Mono
Yeah, it's
release.
very seldom, but they look at balancing. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt on that sometimes, but it really is way too few and far between that they make like meaningful changes. Like he was saying, like if they made you know, more holy relics, or just like they're taking too long. Like, I want to say the reason why they would take so long is because they want to make sure that the relic is balanced and everything like that. But you know, when you see these spans of like months in a row where there's no new relics coming out, the deer got like a total of like 7 what was it, like 7 or 8 relics or something, like something absurdly low.
I can tell you the numbers. So Bird is, I think, 33.
Yeah, that one's pretty high.
The first one.
Bird
That's
is the
fine. It was the
highest.
first one.
Yeah. Deer, I think it's like 17.
Oh, is it that high?
Yeah, I think so. I think Bird is 17.
First the most.
And sorry, deer, and then the wolves are 11 or 13. Like, the number keeps gonna go like lower and lower and lower. And then you're gonna have the dragon, which is the hardest content in the game. How many relics there's gonna be? It's like, what, 6? 5? What?
Yeah.
Where are you going with this?
I think that's the issue too, is that like some of the relics that come out just aren't meaningful. Like I have a video coming out tomorrow on Melascula's relic, and Melascula's relic, it didn't feel all that great. Like, it felt pretty gimmicky. It didn't really feel like it did as much as, you know, you would hope it to, especially if you're fighting the dragon, you're fighting Nidhogg, like you're going through the trouble to like work through 3 floors of this brand new boss. Like, you would expect the first relics to come out for a new boss to be like banger relics. Like, Zeldris was pretty impressive. Froudrin is like a complete throwaway. Like, who is even gonna, like, who's prioritizing that Froudrin relic, especially in this meta? I don't know, man.
Guild Wars.
Oh yeah, I always overlook that. People always talk about like stuff with Guild Wars and everything, but just it's weird to me that they would.
The thing is,
I guess just prioritize that over like the regular gameplay too, which I guess it's more competitive. That's where the whales are, so you want to cater to those people too.
to be honest, now that I started playing Guild Wars, I started to understand the whales' perspective when they talk about how units could be good for Guild Wars. And like, really, Guild Wars is probably for me is the most fun content in the game, because in Guild Wars you get to try a lot of things. You get to use different teams, a lot of units, a lot of
is actually good. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, all these relics that you might underestimate could be good in another content that you're not gonna like use it there. But again, like, you're gonna feel this issue once the Meliodas gets the relics. Like, for example, Demon Melee. We have 3 different Demon Melees. Each one of them do like complete different things. When you give them a relic, you're probably gonna give them a relic that fits the Pierce Demon Melee. How about the other ones? How about the Captain Meliodas, the normal melee, the one with the counter, or the one that gives buffed by 20% stats depend on the card? Like, how are you gonna make the relic fit these characters without just shafting the others? Which they've done it with Zeldris. Like, at least with Zeldris relic, give him extra crit chance, crit damage, anything.
Well, you're talking about those demon melee. You need to differentiate also between the red demon melee and the blue. One is pierce and the other is like ignite.
Yeah.
Like the old one, yeah, like there's already a difference. So
Yeah.
if they focus the holy relic on the pierce one, it's already effed for the red one.
Exactly.
And then you also have the green one that nobody uses, but the green one could use a boost by a relic.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at that as well with the original, just like Captain Meliodas. Like 2 Captain Meliodas, the SSR one and the SR one, both have counter skills, which you would expect them to probably play into the counter whenever they make a relic for it. But there's, the Halloween one, and isn't there another one as well that I can't think of at the moment?
The one from Ragnarok.
Yeah, there's one.
Well, he's a Lost Vein melee.
Oh, no. Yeah, there's another one, the one that buffs stats by 20%.
There's the one that's like the Nashi.
Oh yeah, Champion melee. Yeah, exactly. Those characters are. I mean, the Halloween one is very useless, but you would expect them to probably end up making the relic for some sort of counter or like a stance sort of buff or something like that, and then those other 2 melees are completely screwed. So I think what you were saying earlier, if every unit got their own specific relic, I think it would have just been a much better process overall. Like, yeah, it would have been a lot more grinding, but I mean, it would have helped a lot of people with this, dry spell that we get where there's no relics coming out at all. If it was like very specific units getting relics, people would be like, hey, I need to make that, or like, they'd actually want to spend more time playing the game mode in general.
Yeah, but it will also not only for people to have something to do, but it also means there's diverse, like, okay, this is a good word, diverse in a good sentence, for teams. You can actually make diverse teams with units. You don't have to have a meta where it's always Escanor and random number units that will boost Escanor to become a god, and then if you have every unit have a different holy relic with their specific goals. Of course, there's still going to be weak ones and there's still going to be strong ones. That's of course
sure.
It's a gacha. It's always power creep.
Like,
well, initially. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I don't see the point of having lock over the like demonic beast. Like, just don't make it where you can pick only one demonic beast a week. Like, let people farm whatever they want, and also don't make it where I do 1 rotation on demonic beast to get 1 drop. No. So if you beat floor 1, you get 2 drops. You beat floor 2, you get 4 drops or 3, whatever. Like, don't make it where I have to do demonic beast 15 times to get 1 relic. Why? It doesn't make any sense.
But
It makes
also,
you grinded.
they need to do more surveys to see what the community wants. And
Yeah. I think initially when it came out, because there was only so few relics coming out and stuff like that, maybe like time gating it was a little bit more of an understandable thing. But nowadays, I could definitely see them removing the cap on it.
They should too.
currently,
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go
ahead.
No. So there's like 4 demonic beasts. Okay, the first 2 are pretty easy to do nowadays, but still, the newer players still have a hard time, right? So they need to do something like what I said. Just
We
put out a
have
survey. Yeah,
we
need
have
to Netmarble. I'm talking about Netmarble. To like again. I don't want to see, but other games put out surveys, man. Come on, they need.
we have the
that's how- that's how-
perspective. You said new player, so we have the perspective of new player, which is Cast. He's not a new player, but he's still building his account to like get box CC, get the relics and stuff like that. Do you do like I keep asking about the dragon, but do you even attempt doing the wolf or like deer?
Not really. No. Like, I've tried it. Like, not gonna lie. Like, I've tried putting my time and effort into it. It's just more or less like you watch everyone that's either put like shit ton of time into it or just like whales. We all have them. Like, it just, for me, once I try it, if I don't seem like I'm gonna get that far into it, I just kind of stay away.
Yep.
I think that's fair too. I mean,
Like,
there's
I want
there's no
to.
use in beating yourself over the head with content that you're gonna. I mean, like, I think that's the reason why a lot of people don't even attempt the dragon right now until more support comes out for it or the unit that's specific to it comes out. Like, why? I mean, yeah, you can be like one of the first people to get these new relics or whatever, but I mean, why try to kill yourself like trying to play this insanely hard game mode and hope that RNG doesn't completely like shaft you in a run
Yeah.
just so you can, beat
Yeah,
3
like-
floors of this insane mode early.
Well,
Like,
it-
I don't have any interest in that.
Well, it also doesn't help too that you literally have to have like Constellation 5 or like more, in order to even be able to get somewhere.
Yeah.
On that. Because if you're a starting player, and I don't know for sure on this, like again, like what Torque said, I'm still kind of new to this. I'm still kind of growing and trying to do things differently. But it's like new players who try to get into it and they see like, oh hey, there's the in-game content of something that they can try to get towards get holy relics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Once they see, oh hey, I can't do it, and then they look on YouTube because everyone has to resource to YouTube because YouTube has all the answers. Once people see that and they're like, oh yeah, you need Constellation 5 or more, and then you need to have your units maxed out. You got to have the UR gear maxed out. You have to have the character 6/6. If you don't have any in that time, you're
It's
not
good.
going to get anywhere. You're basically done.
Yeah, and I had a friend that was also a newer player. He played for 4 months, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not doing that either because it took him too while, But the thing is, I also talked to him. I went to the ways and how the newer players have it a little bit easier when I was playing. When we were playing, but
Yeah.
that's logical. But still, it is still difficult because, for example, people always complain. When there's a banner coming out, like King, for example, right now. Yeah, for us, the longer time players, it's a bad banner because we already have probably Magelda 6/6, Jormungand or whatever. Those units
I
are
don't
bad.
think- I don't think anyone
no,
summoned for the king.
No, but I understand.
I got him, baby.
But
You got
newer
him?
Oh no.
But newer people would
How
think.
many multis?
2 multis, baby.
Oh, okay, you won.
Nice.
Yeah, I won.
Just liquid. You kind of forced to summon liquid.
You guys are good, man. You guys are good. I just skipped it. I've not even checked the banner.
No. I completely understand. My philosophy when I play the game is I just want one copy of every character so that way I can use the character if I need them. I understand that not everybody has the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
You as a free
Yeah.
play, you have to be very selective on what banners you're going to summon on. Completely understandable. I think that's one of the things. It's really easy to go to Nagato or any of the bigger YouTubers and just they all automatically have the characters completely maxed out.
Yeah.
They have them 6/6 or at least 4, 5, 6. If they can't get them 6/6 in 1 or 2 rotations or whatever. But I have no interest in getting a character more than 1/6 or just doing at least 1 rotation and hoping I get lucky to pull an extra copy or 2. But I don't know. I feel like in that regard, I can kind of sort of get a feel for if a character is actually good without just being able to ult rush and stuff like that. I don't know. Ult rushing is just always really cheesy to me. I'd rather see what the character can actually do with their regular cards.
Let me ask you this: did you summon for Goddess Freya?
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
did.
I was
So we
forced to
do-
summon.
That's good because I don't
Gun to
worry.
your head, you got to summon.
Hey, I summoned 2. I did 1 multi and I got 2 dupes of her, and I was like, all right, cool, done, easy. Even though I told people on stream, I was like, hey, don't summon for this character because, again, the character would have been great for PvP if it was not for Perg Melly coming out. If
No,
it
no,
was
yeah.
not, if
She
it
is-
wasn't for Perg Melly, she'd be great. She'd be fantastic. Yeah, she's still good, but is she going to be absolute top tier? No, because Perg Melly is taking that spot over pretty much every unit possible. Not
Yeah.
trying to ride on Perg Melly and be like, oh hey, I'm like everyone else. No, we've seen the YouTube videos, we've seen the clips, we've seen everyone who plays this game religiously. They've talked about it. We know. Perg Melly is just one of those units that just trumps all. Goddess Freya, thank God that she came out. People did it for certain reasons. We ain't gonna explain that, but Like it is what it is at this point. Sometimes, like you said, you try to get one character, like at least one.
Yeah.
If you really want that character, and you're like, hey, I see a bright future for this unit, and I'm like, hey, they're gonna do amazing things. Then yes, do
First, first thing with Freya is people underestimate her as well, but she is very good. But she was tailor made for
Guild
Guild
Wars.
Wars,
Yeah.
or 4 versus 4, because
Yeah.
4 versus 4 she will shine in the Ragnarok team, but that is because you can replace. So you have Diane, Brunhild, Sigurd, and then Freya. Then that team will work perfectly fine against melees. Of course, then it's the matter of opinion on, yeah, but if he goes first, blah 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 blah. But it's the same way. If you go first with that team, you focus melee and can kill him, he's dead. And that's the problem with the units. Like, some units are made for the whales, some units are made for everybody. So the festivals are always built for everybody, so to give everybody a chance to sort of catch up. You know what I mean? And yeah,
I think that's a good way to put it.
and then you have like Jormungand, Magelda. Like, I skipped Magelda at the start when she
Huh?
came out because she was not great in my eyes. But I couldn't predict that, like, 1 week later or 2 weeks later, oh, she gets a holy relic now, and now she's goddess tier power. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, what's this?
I think that's a big point of like FOMO that they've sort of created as well, where like even the like a new character comes out, Freya comes out, maybe she's mid. Like, if
Right
not
now.
everybody's like, whatever, she's not great. Like, she can do okay in the meta. She can, win a game or two here or there, but she could get broken relic at any time.
Yeah.
Like, you never know. Like, that's another reason why I always try to grab
I'm
at least a
still
copy.
waiting for my green
And then
mono relic, man.
No
and then she
kidding.
doesn't come back for like 6 months. Then people are screwed, basically. Like,
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh, now look at this. Now you skipped her. Now you don't have her." But yeah, people have their holy relic, and now all of a sudden she's god tier. Like, and then people will cry about it to Netmarble again. Why did you release Freya only once every 6 months? Like,
But the thing
and
is,
I'm like, what? Stop it!
with Magilda, it's
It's your own
different
choice.
though. With Magilda, it's different because Magilda is a unit released specifically for this content. That's why it's
Yeah,
different
but you don't
when.
know you don't know
Um,
what's going to happen with Freya. You don't know what's happening right
Yes, I get it. But her passive is a general passive. It can work anywhere. With Magilda, Thonar, Jormungandr, we knew these units were made for this specific content, so it's kind of a must summon, you know?
Well, I think for Magelda specifically, like when she came out, everybody tried her, and I think the general consensus was with a lot of people that Magelda on release was not very good. She did
Yeah.
not help
There was
out as
better.
much as you would hope that she would. And then the Holy Relic is really what made her, and I think that specifically was the biggest reason why people were like, all right, Jormungand is a must summon, Thonar is a must summon.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
once
Yeah.
people realized the potential that the Holy Relic was going to give the units, then it was kind of
Yeah.
game over at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the time of Magilla's release, I remember this. Gother was just better because he has
Yeah,
these matchups.
everybody
It's
called Magelda bad.
Bro, I was using
Yeah.
Festival Gother instead of Magilda.
Oh no.
Yeah, Festival Gother was actually good. That's, I think I used, I was just doing a challenge on Twitch to beat the bird with Chandler. So I took Chandler, Festival Gother, and I think Matrona and I don't remember the DPS. I think it was Brynhild. Like, that was the team to beat the bird.
Yeah, the beat the bird. Yeah.
But yeah, like Miguelda wasn't the best on release, but with what's what you call it, the deer, your Miguelda was kind of needed because like the RNG factor with the deer was different than the bird.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane as well. But still, but people knew then, okay, Jormungand's coming out, we all need to summon. Doesn't matter, we need to summon her. Because, like, Toner the same. Red Toner, people who didn't summon for her, well, good luck undoing wolves. Good luck. Good luck. You will be screwed in the future because people knew. The most discussion I saw within my Discord and the few people that play the game are like, yeah, better summon on Tonar because she might not look good right now, but the moment she gets her Holy Relic, she will help you destroy the wolf 20 times easier. And voila, it came and it and it conquered basically. So yeah,
Yeah.
that is that. It's
So generally, the relics needs. I'm not gonna say revamp, but because we already know in the um like in the files, the game itself have plans for more relics. You know,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
they have plans for armor. They have plans for
Oh,
the headpiece.
okay.
So will that be for the different units?
I don't know.
Like the units that are missing from the like for example the blue Zeldris, you know?
Who knows? Maybe the relic that we have now for him prioritizes red more, but maybe the next relic we get has a passive that relies more on the blue. Yeah, I guess you never know. I think relics should focus more on stats. Like if they gave like a halfway decent passive, that's great and all. But I'm not saying like Ludociel or like Fraudrins where it's just like this
Ariel.
character gets a great stat boost. Like that's just basic stats. Who cares?
And Roxy.
But I think, yeah, exactly. Like I think that relics need to boost CC enough for the character to where they can be relevant in PvP or whatever game mode that they're going to be ran in. And I think that it should be catered more towards the unit. Like these old units, they have bad stats. Like you look at them, they have like 20% crit chance, like 5% lifesteal. Like they have like these atrocious stats, and then you get these holy relics that boost basic stats. That doesn't help any of the fact that they're all their other stats are just terrible, and it's not going to help like even the unit out compared to what we have nowadays. Like it's just the power creep is too much just for basic stats to improve the unit.
That's what I did with I'm going to go to my main game, Dokkan. Hey. So
Easy
yeah, in
A's.
Dokkan they did. Yeah, no, not even that. It's before that. The potential system was different for if you go back to the old school units. Their potential system is better than the newer ones because they knew the older ones had worse stat than the newer units that came out. So that is what they have to do with Grand Cross or something. Like, for example, Counter Melee, for example. He probably has bad stats. Or let's say the Collapse, they're going to bring back Attack on Titan. They're going to buff up the old units, for example, right? But if you check those old units, they have all bad stats compared to everyone.
So it's not going to help them much.
Yeah, they're going to get a powerful relic. Like the only collab that I like the most is the Shield Hero because they were all balanced all overall. Overall, everyone was perfect, sorta. You can use all the Shield Hero units always. Of course, Naofumi is better. Raftalia is pretty good, but you can also use Philo and Kizuna.
Speaking of collabs, Attack on Titan is the only collab that have no relics, and if they're gonna actually, it's I actually forget that that's a thing. Actually, who here summoned for Stranger Things?
I have them all.
I don't even think I was here for that.
I heard the disappointment in your voice.
I have all their cosmetics.
Oh my
I have
god!
only 11 maxed out because 11. She had Doctor Strange cosmetics.
I blame Seaton because Seaton is the reason why I summoned for 11 and also got her cosmetics. When he said that she's the blue Sari, I was like, yeah, sure, let me go ahead, let me go summon. And when I got her, oh my god,
she was pretty strong.
She was strong at the time of her release for sure. She was one of the best raid demon units, but fell off very quickly when the one came out.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And then the one overruled her. And why is there no blue Goater chairman in the game? What the fuck, man? Sorry. But I mean, seriously, man. Where's the blue Goater rank up?
He should be.
There's a handful of units that just haven't been made yet. Everybody's like, "Where's Grey Road?"
Yeah, where's
I feel like he's the most anticipated unit in Grand Cross, which is Grey Road. I like. Could it get top?
But no one
grossing?
wants him.
I doubt it. I doubt it's that popular outside of like the fan base that it has. But
no, where's Super Saiyan? Where's Super Saiyan Camilla or Super Saiyan Shin? Sorry, I call them Super Saiyans because they are Super Saiyans.
Pokemon Respawn.
Yo, Respawn in Austin?
Camilla's another big one.
Is this Austin too?
Oh.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I woke
Yo,
up a
welcome,
little
welcome.
late. I'm here.
Better late than never, boys. You know me.
Welcome,
Just to go
welcome.
back on the stat system of Grand Cross, I'm not a fan of how they do their characters because there's no layout for what like the stats are going to be for the characters. Like for X7, we have Zodiacs, and Zodiacs are assigned to certain stats, so all characters are with that Zodiac should have very similar stats at their base. But with
Yeah.
Grand Cross, it's all behind the dev team and what they want to do with the unit. They've ruined characters like Awaken Easton because of their stat system.
Yeah, I was gonna say Easton because that's the one you got.
Surely, if they all had similar stats, then the fests would just have similar stats, and it would all be pretty generic.
No, they switch it up by like class and element. There's more into it than just that, but generally speaking, the Zodiac will give you a guideline for your basic stats.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. Just having like more info on like a new character being good in that regard would be really nice.
Yeah, but with Grand Cross, you have to pray the dev team isn't drunk that day.
Well, like, because people, I remember when they first started doing like new named units where you had to buy a whole new set of costumes for a character that was already in the game. Like
That I
you know,
hate.
that was a huge thing. I was like, dude, what are they doing? I just had to buy these outfits for this old character. Now they come out with a new variation of the character, and then we have to buy new outfits. That sucks.
You know,
But people want old characters because they already have costumes for them, but then they give them the same stats as the old characters, and it makes them completely unusable. But then they make new characters, and you have to buy a whole new set of cosmetics for them, and you have to it's a whole new investment, and it's just you can't win, dude.
You know that happened to me. That happened to me when I didn't have cosmetics for Arthur, which is funny because Arthur should have a lot of cosmetics, but I didn't have the headpieces. So I was like, yeah, let me buy him all the costumes. That was the day before they release Excalibur Arthur. I was like, wait, because I don't watch JP, so I don't know exactly what if they share cosmetics or not. I was like, wait, it's the same model. There is no change. Why he doesn't share cosmetics?
Yeah.
I'm really surprised they haven't made a new Excalibur Arthur yet.
Yeah,
They're waiting
But
for them.
they do.
Where's
They do
where's-
give that, I feel like they look at the scenario now where they have a Fest King and they've just brought out another king the same name as him. So I feel like
Yeah.
they do kind of track back every now and then and release ones that you may have bought, which is obviously a bit of a
Is it
fucker.
is it raining there, Respawn?
What's that?
Is it
He's in the
raining in the
shower.
background?
Oh no, sorry, I was just in the kitchen. Yep.
Well, there's also an issue too that Excalibur Arthur is already nearly perfect. You got a god relic for him.
Yeah,
you don't really need another Excalibur Arthur when he's already so good and does his role. Right? It was the same thing with Mono. They didn't need to make another blue Mono when the one they made was already good, just missing a relic. And now they made a blue one that's worse than the green one.
No, the
It made no
blonde.
sense.
The blonde is for Guild Wars though. If you don't do Guild Wars, she's
Yeah,
useless.
the blue mono is pretty good for Guild Wars. Like Freya, basically.
Yeah.
The fact that Excalibur Arthur already has a relic could be better for a new Arthur though, because then they
You know he's
already
gonna
know
have
what they
his
kind of
stance
need to play into the relic, so they could kind of cater it a little bit towards that, but make his passive enough of a difference to where it helps out whatever. But I mean, the fact that he already has a relic isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it might pigeonhole a bit.
I like your optimism.
Dude, I try to stay as optimistic as I can.
You gotta be optimistic when you play games like this because especially Grand Cross too. Because listen, I love Grand Cross. I'm not gonna lie, I love the game, but I know I keep saying negative things, which I'm not gonna hide. But then again, if I'm gonna keep saying all the negative things and not one single positive thing in the game, I just shouldn't play this game at all. But there are good things in Grand Cross that, if we're gonna avoid talking about, then why are we playing the game? Why are we covering the game? For me, I've been streaming Grand Cross I think for the past week now, just doing Guild Wars content, which I've actually been enjoying.
Yeah, Guild Wars is fun if you can do it.
If you can do it, of course, which is another thing that we can talk about. But
Yeah, I think
yeah.
that's my biggest problem with Guild Wars is that it is really fun. We got my guild got access to it whenever they extended the roster or whatever. They were we're letting X amount more guilds participate in Guild Wars, which it's been out forever. Not really sure why it's still considered a beta or whatever they're calling it. It's almost like it's an early access feature, but it's been out for a really long time. Just let people play Guild Wars. That's my problem with them catering relics and different things towards Guild Wars is that only the top 5% of players are even going to be able to
Not even
use
top 5%.
any of that.
It's only the top 300 players.
I mean, that's just how the
Yeah,
game is
exactly.
designed,
So it's
though.
Yeah.
98% of players are like, what good does that do me? Like, I can't even, I think that's one of the reasons, like, I really like Cheekswa. I like a lot of the guides and stuff that he does, but I think his main form of content is like Guild Wars stuff, and
Yeah.
what good does any of that content do me if I don't have access to the feature,
Yeah.
It's kind of strange that
Another thing you
you
can
don't,
look at is
because
money.
like most games are pretty generally decent at letting you play all modes.
Grand Cross punishes you.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
Spirit, you were saying
yeah.
something about that?
Yeah. What I was saying that they could do a similar system in Marvel Future Fight. There's a mode similar to Guild Wars where everyone can participate, and the top 100 guilds, which is basically the same as Grand Cross,
Yeah.
you get to spectate them live when they play.
That would be awesome if it could be live. Remember when they done the 7 Deadly Sins tournament, the content creator for Global?
Yeah.
Good times.
No.
Like there are good stuff in Grand Cross. Like I've played so many gachas this year, and I can still say that Grand Cross gear system is still probably the best gear system in all gacha games, which I will always keep saying. Having cosmetics is a good thing, but having too much cosmetics is a bad thing too. Them being expensive as well, it's another thing.
30 gems is absurd for free plays.
Dude, it
And on
is.
top
I
of
think
that,
that's the
they
thing that
actually
Grand Cross
matter.
That's by far my biggest gripe. Is this game like it has almost every single way that you could monetize a unit in the game. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to level the unit up, you gotta awaken the unit, you gotta super awaken the unit, you gotta worry about pulling extra copies of the unit so that way you can increase your ultimate level, you gotta buy costumes, you gotta upgrade costumes. Like, I remember when the upgrade costumes update came out and I was like, game's dead, we're doomed.
No,
And in hindsight, it's nothing compared to like what you have to do to a unit.
someone in chat asking about the tournament. That tournament was on year 1 when when Global was first released. I think it was around Zeldris release. The final was between Seaton and Kabuki, which are both not covering the game anymore. I mean, Kabuki's coming back. I hope he do more content, but like it used to be against Spirit and Kabuki, which not Spirit, Seaton and Kabuki,
What?
and ended with Seaton winning. It was fun. Like that tournament was actually like good content to watch. Even Nanogenics, the Dokkan.
I know.
Yeah.
I still remember all of the drama that there was against Spam and Rice using somebody else's account or like his like actual account that he like spends money on.
Yeah.
What was this guy's name? The Monty was even playing back then.
Yeah, Demonte too.
I remember him.
Well, I think, I know him from Dragon Ball. Dokkan,
Yeah, from Dokkan too.
But I don't know what happened. I stopped following them, but
He just took a break. He quit because of like reasons, his own reasons. He was getting burnt out, similar to Ryan.
I mean, I guess it's like natural. Like a lot of people are gonna start playing the game whenever a game's new, but you get burnt out on it, you move on. Like, what was it? Sekapoko was a huge like person in the community for like news. I think he had the original like podcast for Grand Cross. Yeah,
that's what I had the idea from because I enjoyed him doing the podcast. Like, let's try to do a podcast for Grand Cross.
yeah.
I feel
now Amazing is doing it one as well.
That's good. That's pretty good. We need more content for the game. So we need to give Netmarble feedback so they know what are the issues, because I feel like the way they listen is to make a lot of content creators just send a message, because if you remember, Assault Melee was taken off the game just because Seaton made a video.
Yeah.
Not only that, remember there are thousands of players campaigning in the forums as well. Even the global players even made Korean accounts to rant on the Korean forums, which doesn't concern them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge like thing in the community back then.
I mean,
Which
it was logical that he came before the one, but that was just me. Story-wise, it was like Assault Mode was first, then the one comes. But that's me.
I didn't really think it was that big of a deal at the time, because I was like, I mean, if Assault Melee is gonna, or were they trying to? I can't remember exactly what the release order was. I felt like the release order that they were trying to do for Global was going to be more beneficial for the player base.
Yeah.
No, it's more beneficial for them because the reason why they're releasing AM Melee before that is because they know they're going to release Raid Sariel. Raid Sariel is a direct counter to AM Melee, so they wanted to release AM Melee before they release the counter.
Yeah,
they did that too with Valenti and Blue Demon Melee. Remember, JP had it like reversed. They had Blue Demon Melee, then Valenti. We had the counter before the Pierce. It's like, hello? It was good actually because I summoned for Valenti first, so I didn't suffer in the Pierce meta. But
I mean, I can't blame them for doing that, though. I mean, I think it was beneficial for the community because, I mean, the people on JP at the time were like, dude, it was like months of PvP where it was
Pierce.
just Blue Demon Melee wiping turn 1, like nothing you can do about it.
yeah,
It sounds
So,
very
like,
similar
the fact
to
that they tried to
nowadays.
even it out more on global, I don't think was a bad thing. But I don't know. They have a hard time listening to the community in general. They used to have a creators or like a content creators program whenever the game launched on global, and then they got rid of that because people didn't want to sign up for it because they'd rather cover leaks, which is completely fair, I think.
Yeah.
It's still there.
And then
Wait, it's still there?
they were doing the Boar Hat Tavern thing, and they were like showing off creators doing things or like talking to creators and stuff like that and everything. But they've like cut themselves off from like the actual like main part of the community. Like they don't really want to be vocal anymore. Like the global devs are nowhere to be seen.
I think still this
Because we don't
game
have
is
any.
I think this game is going to be a Naruto Blazing Part 2, something like
You keep
that.
saying that, I hope not.
No, but it's looking like that, you know? Like, they're pigeonholing all the people. Like, Naruto Blazing went from, you know, talk to the community, to talking less to the community, less, and then dead silent, and then let's drop another Uchiha banner. Oh, let's drop another Senju banner. Let's drop another Madara. Let's do this. Let's do... But then, oh, we decided we died because we have a new Naruto game coming. Like, that's how it ended.
Yeah.
No,
So
not
I
only that.
think-
No, do you remember that before that they released Naruto the Last and Final Valley Sasuke on the same banner along with the three basing the bash units.
Yeah.
That sounds very similar to what's happening right now because they released the one ultimate and then there's this new melee that they're stupidly broken. And
Yes,
they make the game
exactly.
honestly unfun. Like,
Also, they promised not to do that, and yet they do it again. Hey.
they had the thing is they had the festivals as planned from the previous year, but just the difference is that the previous year they had Festival King who was blue and then Melee who was dark. This year they have Escanor who is light and Melee who is dark. So the difference is the previous year you could buy King from the coin shop. This year you couldn't buy any of these units from the coin shop because you can't buy light and dark units from the coin shop. So you either summon or you're have to wait for them to come back 6 months later on.
Like every game that from what I played, I don't play much, is Escanor Melee, same team. It's the same thing every game.
Yeah, one team I ran into was Escanor, Melee, and then fucking Blue Fodron, which is not good for my Philo team, and I was just like, oh my fucking god.
This is what I got. This is what I got to say, and everybody knows this. All right, if you run a Blue Frodron or you run evasive food, you're just a bad person. That's it.
I did it during the what was it? During the rules. I ran it because it was just the only way to play.
Yeah. There was a time.
That's exactly what he's saying. You're a bad person, boy.
Dude,
Pause. I'm sorry. Pause. In this time and age where Melee and Escanor and Demon Team are ruling PvP, I feel like you have the pass to use anything. I'm not saying to use suicide teams. No, it's not a good thing. Don't do that. But if you're gonna do it, it's fine, I guess. No one's gonna blame you.
It's either that or you wail, so...
I think the problem is people are always going to use whatever works that they can get their hands on, which is why Attack Seal is so relevant right now, and why Friend and Liz teams are so relevant right now.
What you really need to do, Karen?
What happened?
Talking to someone.
All you really need to do in this meta right now.
Oh.
If you want to actually like get first, say you're in Champ 5 and you want to get to Champ 3, or you want to try and get to Champ 1 from Champ 3 to Champ 1 consistently, it's just wait till the end of the week.
That makes it to where Taste of Defeat. Abuse Taste of Defeat, use the Alt Rush team and just do it that way. That's how I do it every week. It takes like 4 games.
Yeah, that's what I always did when I used to put time.
I don't care if it's cringe. I don't want to play the game.
That's the worst thing that a game can have. Like
I quite enjoy PvP, so I like to actually actually have a match where it's like I don't just rush ults, I actually try and beat someone legit. And most of the time, people don't rush their ults in like the latter end of the week because they know it's a bit more quiet. So I feel like that's kind of a good time to play PvP because you can actually have some good matches, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. I think avoiding PvP on like Mondays and Tuesdays are like a pretty much a given at this point because I mean, whales are always going to be trying out new units. People with the highest CC imaginable, like they're always going to be like messing around at the beginning of the week, like because they don't have to worry about getting out CC'd or anything. Which I honestly think that CC is such a stupid mechanic. I really wish it was just like a coin flip. Like if you could just go in and even with low CC or just a team that wouldn't normally go first, like giving them the opportunity to try and go first would be very beneficial.
CC is basically the version of rock paper scissors.
Invent a food that lets you do the rock paper scissors thing. That way you can just quit if you lose.
You're not wrong with that, though. You're not wrong.
Dude, I would take a food. Rock, paper, scissors food? I wouldn't do it.
That sounds such an easy
Actually, that would make PvP fun and challenging for whales, too, because a lot of whales can lose if they go second. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like it would be so much more interesting.
If I go second, sometimes I feel like I'm obligated to beat this guy now. I want to try and beat this guy, even though he's gonna smack me first turn. I've still.
I do go second. It's called these use ult. They use the characters that if they die, you get free ult. Unless they're going into a human team and they have Easton. That's the only counter, which I also use that team too.
Again, I can see people talking in chat about something happened in the forum. I just checked it right now, and
I'm going over all of that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll talk about that after the podcast.
Promor, and we don't have anything against any others. What?
Karen, sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
When you sign into the game on your phone, do you know that you get the little panels that come up and give you like the news, and then you kind of it kind of changes as you look at it.
Yeah.
Basically, one of those panels is like Japanese or something, or like different. Like all the panels were English bar one. And I was like, what the fuck happened there? Like, have they just made a mistake? Or I don't know if anyone else noticed it, but the Valentine's one where it says like the 42 gems is in like.
Sometimes they forget to translate. You know how many global devs are there to translate? Give them some time, man.
1.5.
To be fair, we don't have a global team anymore.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why it's impressive that they're even a week behind at this point.
I was like, that's pretty funny. They missed the panel completely of translating.
I'm just gonna say here because I can see there's something's gonna blow up, which we don't really condone any of that. So I'm just saying, like, we don't have any like issues from our end, any drama. All of what's gonna happen or what may happen, we don't have any control of it. So we're drama-free people. Okay.
Where can I find?
I will say the post that was created on the forums was not on Amazing's side. Amazing and anybody on that side is not attacking us. So there's no. Don't think there's any kind of like drama that's kind of exploded more off of what has already happened. Neither side created that post. Yes.
I feel like that's the same account to try to frame me with like a fake tweet.
It is. Kelbert is showing me all those stuff.
Yeah, I remember this name. This is the same account that tried to frame me, but like they took, like I never said in my life the word Lamau, and they made a fake tweet of me saying Lamau or something like being toxic, which I never said that. It's like, yeah, shoot, buddy. I never said the word Lamau before, but yeah.
Ever since that day, I've been using it a lot lately.
Lamau.
I've been using it like even in my thumbnails.
Lamau.
Sorry, caught on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, there's no drama, there's no toxicity, or at least trying to be in this podcast or anywhere. So.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say it again, like, we don't have any issues of them having the same time or the same day. It's just funny to have, maybe they say the coincidence, I guess, but it's just funny. It's like, we don't have any issue with it. Again, I'm saying from my side, it's good that we have more voices to send message to Grand Cross.
Is there another podcast at the same time as ours?
This is new, right? This is like new. Who's
holding it? Just so I know.
Amazing Grand Cross.
We just found out this. Like, I found out this earlier this morning.
I legit didn't know that Amazing gonna do podcast today. Trinity is the one who told me this morning. Like, I had no idea. You know, there's
okay. Well, just
told
get back
me
to the regular content
podcast.
Also, you guys are doing this for over a year. How can you guys be the?
It's someone's trying to make drama, which again we're addressing here. There's no drama. There's no issues from our side.
Indeed. Yeah, it's just funny to see.
We've had amazing on this podcast.
Why you guys coming?
Look at Liquid.
Okay.
Fucking Liquid.
Let's get back to the regular content.
Just to cover up, just to cover up the Grand Cross topic of today, Relics. They don't need revamp because I feel like the Relics is good. It just need to address the characters that don't share like they share the Relic, but it doesn't benefit them by any means. Because when I tried to reach Nala to join us today, when I watched his showcase for both Zeldresses, it's like this guy doesn't like this Zeldris doesn't take anything from the Relic. It's just so bad.
I feel like they should really do, and the community should start speaking up about this, because this is the most impactful thing they can do to help the game, is tell the devs they want balanced changes for characters and relics. I think that's the only thing that would ever help. If the dev team went back and adjusted buff, it would make more units playable in PvP and other cross-kill content. That way you have more units to play with, which would make the game overall healthier for PvP too. That's the only solution I can think of, is just balance your game.
Yep.
No, I feel like the way they should balance the game is balance the units only for PvP. Leave PvE untouched, because in PvE you want to see big numbers, but in PvP you want fair gameplay.
Well, okay, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you guys remember I don't know if it was leaks or it was some sort. I think it was some sort of leak of there being potential relics that were headpieces and defense like outfit pieces relics. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that could be a way to resurrect the whole bad relic thing, where they give you additional relics. I know it's another thing to grind for, but it's the only way they're really going to be able to implement something more. Do you know what I mean? In the relic department.
And the other thing is, how are they going to implement it? You know, is it going to be via a new demonic beast or older ones or whatever? You know. That's the problem as well, because if it's new demonic beast that is at the same level as a dragon, then again, it's still the same and then still pointless for other people.
I feel like a really good way they could do it for everyone is if you've grinded out the relic for that character, they just automatically give you the other two pieces. That would be the best. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I know that's unrealistic.
No.
That's unrealistic. That would be a really
Here's
good
an
way
idea. What if you just use playtime on the relic, and then by doing so you can unlock the X material to upgrade that relic, because you're using it and you can upgrade it.
Not bad idea.
It would have a little tree system or something that would help you make it better towards a certain character.
It's like affinity. It's like the affinity system in Grand Cross. It's like how much stamina you use for this character, so it's gonna...
Well, instead of stamina, it would be just based off PvP. Or I guess it would just be general content, I guess.
Yeah, it's like Black Clover. I think you unlock dupes in Black Clover by using the character, which is the most free-to-play thing I've ever seen in my life. You just use the character to get extra dupes.
That game, you also had it with, I think, One Punch Man game had something similar.
Yeah.
I haven't played it.
I don't know which game it was, but a friend of mine played it. And
Hero
it was,
2.0 or something, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So,
it was similar to E7, wasn't it? Was it similar to E7?
Yeah, something like that. So when you use it, you of course you can summon, but you can also by using it or farm something, you could unlock pieces, and then you get one whole piece
Fragments.
every time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like I said, the problem is also a little bit, I think there's no other game like Grand Cross, so there's no competition.
There's so many positives in the Grand Cross game, like the gear system, how they... there's so many good things that another game could take away from Grand Cross and just do better with a better team.
Yeah, the One Piece game, sort of like that,
I was gonna say, there is a One Piece game on release that is literally Grand Cross.
Mirror image, just with different characters.
I would be interested in that. I'm a big fan of One Piece.
Yeah.
I've never watched One Piece, to be fair. I'm not personally a big fan of the animation. It doesn't really look that good.
Okay, we have Bon here. He just started Epic 7 Yuli. Welcome, Bon. He's saying Epic 7 gear gives him AIDS. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He already had AIDS. You can't catch it twice.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Gear in Epic 7 is the only content you have. So I mean, the only content you have to grind. Like, there's nothing else grindy in the game except that, other than the gear. Like, story is fun to do. It's like the content they have. It's not grindy enough for you to be. It's enjoyable content.
Not like grinding dogs or grinding.
Like, for example, you know how we have our, what the hell is it in the Grand Cross, the catastrophe tower.
Yeah.
Is that you know, we get that like once every, I don't know how often they do it on Grand Cross. We have something similar to it, space it out every week, so you don't feel overloaded. Yeah, we have our own tower system that's spaced out. You have a week to do it, 2 weeks to do it, and then it refreshes. So you don't have to rush it.
Volume. Is there anything from E7 that you think they've basically like taken from Grand Cross? Is there any? Because I haven't played E7. Is there anything you think they've like?
No, it's a completely different game. The way it functions, like the PvP system, a whole other system, the speed system.
That they've even like remotely thought, oh, that's good. Like, were they taken from any other game that you can think of, or are they quite original?
They're original. I don't think anything. They're Grand Cross and Epic 7 are. The only thing similar is that they're turn-based. Well, it's not even turn-based. It can't call Epic 7 a turn-based game. It's based off your speed.
There's no speed,
Yeah.
So it's completely different. Even their end game's a lot more polished out. There's an actual end game in Epic 7.
How old is Epic 7?
It's the same age as Grand Cross.
4 or 5.
Yeah, the speed maybe they copied from Naruto.
I mean, there's a lot of JPRPGs who have, like,
things from.
I would say they copied Summoner's War. They all copied the gear system from Summoner's War.
If you were to point at Epic 7 and say what they copy from the most, it's the gear system, or not the gear system. It's the gear, like the gear. It's from Summoner War. Like, it's got the same, like the barrier set. We just got that recently. That's from Summoner Wars. We got all their sets are very, obviously getting copy pasted from.
Yeah,
Summoner
all I'm trying to say is like a lot of games take the best elements they think from different older games, and I was like, I was thinking, is Epic 7 like a completely new aspect, or is it kind of like
no? It's been there.
The best of the bunch kind of thing.
It's been there since Summoner's War. I would say Epic 7 does it a little bit better than Summoner's War, because with Summoner's War, the original game, they make gear whaley, where there are bundles that you can buy, like 70S, where you can refine gear, you can get better stats, but you have to buy these bundles because you will never be able to grind the mats to be able to refine. You can, but maybe once a year. But you can just go and buy a bundle for $80. But Epic 7 is more free to play friendly in terms of farming. You just farm with stamina, which is not gonna.
Every start of the month, they refresh our expeditions, and that's where you get all your reforged mats. You get a big chunk of reforged materials from expeditions. So it's a lot more free to play friendly than Summoner War.
Yeah.
I got a proposal or a question quickly.
Yep.
Obviously, this podcast started over 7 Deadly Sins, so I was just wondering, what for each person in the chat, what is the positive thing you still like about 7 Deadly Sins? Because I know we keep shitting on it all the time, but obviously we still play it for a reason. Even Volume can think of something positive, surely.
I log in daily.
Okay, Respawn, you should have never asked me that question, bro. I'm sorry.
I want to know.
Okay, let's start with Afro. What is it for you, Afro? Is Afro there?
For me,
yeah.
He's trying to put the words together.
Yeah.
Volume, start thinking. Come on, there's got to be one thing.
No, it's going to be like overall. I like the things. I like to keep them busy with the leveling and all these stuff. I like
account progression.
The the progression and stuff.
Yeah.
I like that very much. I like the units a lot. And that's all. Overall, I like the game. It's not a bad game. Like, I see the great potential of the game, but
it has the best potential. Not gonna lie, Grand Cross has the best potential out of any gacha game.
Yeah, the devs are like shooting themselves in the not saying that
in the foot.
Yeah, in the foot, basically, by not communicating with the community, because they are doing things that the community don't want. So the game is pretty fun. The problem, what we always griping about and complaining about or whatever, is it's not
Afro,
made.
The question was simple, only positive.
Yeah,
don't
I
make
know,
negatives.
but that's the problem. What's the problem? I enjoy it, but they are they are trying to push me away. That's the problem. Like,
Okay,
I'm enjoying everything from
So,
the game.
No,
Austin-
the question, Afro. The question was, what do you like about the game? Like what?
Everything, like everything. But
Okay.
Okay, Austin, what do you like? What was the positive impact of Grand Cross? Like, what is the thing that you like the most?
Well, the first thing that got me into the game was the 7 Deadly Sins, like the anime itself.
You're the first person who
then-
tells me that.
That's crazy.
that's normal. That's why you play a game, I think.
I played the game because I knew
Well-
it was gonna have, like, yes, I liked Escanor, but I was really into the 7DS IP. But I knew the game would have collabs. That's why I played the game. For Escanor and collabs.
Yeah. And then obviously later on, I eventually took like a year or so break and then came back and I was like, what the fuck have they added?
Oh, that sounds like me. Cool.
And I was so lost, but then I eventually like got with it and now I'm at 4.28 mil. And yeah, I like the units, especially the latest female that was added. We don't talk about.
No, I got this for you. Yeah,
Yeah,
Booba, come to
Why we
E7.
keep beating around the bush? Let's talk about it.
bro. Just call her mommy milkers. All right, just call
Mommy
her.
milkers.
There's a couple of things that come to
Uber.
mind.
Yo.
Here's the thing, right? In E7, we don't judge you. We all agree Booba's Lifa. So just join us.
Chill. Dork,
Mommy milkers.
Dork,
Oh.
what's your favorite thing about Grand Cross?
Oh, you skipped right over me. Damn. I
No,
see
you
how
just
I
said
go.
you said the same thing with Austin. Okay, what was your favorite thing, Cast? I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. No, I just gotta give you shit. No, I'd say probably for myself would probably have to be the ideal of them doing like crossovers. So
Yeah.
like having like different units. So like Attack on Titan and like Stranger Things. That was kind of actually interesting to have like crossovers and stuff. So that's kind of what brought me to that game.
Hmm. DC, what's your favorite thing?
I mean, if I was still playing, I guess somewhat PvP. That's the only thing that kept me around it.
Yep.
Then I guess just meeting everybody in the community. I mean, we all say it too, but that's the only thing that was really good about it for me.
Hmm.
But
Now-
until they just add something that's like PvE, more. What do you call it? I say it multiple times. It's more
Yeah.
PvE, like where you can play your friends.
Nutmarble, listen. If you want DC back to your game, just release the fucking Demon
Co-op.
King as a co-op raid, and he'll be back. This is his wish to come back to Grand Cross. Release the raid, please.
It's rinsing,
It's not
repeating.
time. It's not time yet. Come on, just wait a minute.
What do you mean it's not time? But they dropped.
They haven't
for
shown him in the
Ultimate.
Oh, well, they have shown him in the story. Are you talking about just the big demon king that they fight in the purgatory?
Yeah, the big Demon
Yeah.
King.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Come on, man, release that already.
But we can already solo it in the story.
You never heard that idea where it's like a four-man. It's like like the
Attack
when
on
they
Titan.
dropped the event.
Like the big
I
purple
really
guy.
like- Yeah, the big purple guy. Like I really like that event because we get to play with friends and it's like you can see the damage what we all do together.
Yeah.
That
They
was
can
really
add
fun.
a really hard end game content that deals with the Demon King or the deity, like a rinse and repeat content where you gather mats for either one. Even Respawn mentioned something just like that as well. Isn't that right,
Yeah.
Respawn?
Yeah. That was one of. I think
think
Respawn is muted. He's muted.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do.
I think that'll bring me back for sure.
Mm. Now,
It's
let's-
just too dry.
what was your favorite thing about? What is still your favorite thing about Grand Cross?
Honestly, I like the gameplay. Like, I don't know, you see all these new games coming out, like you see Genshin and like all these other like more open world RPGs and stuff like that. I just like how simple it is to play. Like it really is like, I think mobile games are best when you can just pick them up and play them and put it down like within the span of like a few minutes. Like nothing takes too long, I don't think. Like, I don't know, it's
They're
just easy
in-game.
to play for a few minutes when you have time or whatever. If you're playing on your phone, like you can pull it out on your break at work or like whatever. That's more of like just
Yeah.
mobile games in general. But I don't know, I didn't even know about 7 Deadly Sins at first. I remember my brother was working at the time of like right before
COVID.
Global's launch, and some of the people there were playing JP, and he was like, "Hey, people at work were playing this game. You'd probably be interested in it." So I started playing on
Yeah.
Global's launch, and I mean, it was just a cool game. I started watching the anime because of it. I don't know. It's just overall, I feel like it's got a really solid foundation.
It turns you into a weeb. Let's go.
Let's go!
Knowing that also turns you into a whale.
Go, baby! Respawn, what was your favorite thing?
Well, mainly the fact that when I started actually streaming this game, I thought, oh, it's a pretty niche game. It doesn't seem like it's too big. It'd be a good place to start streaming. And then when I did, obviously I found all you bunch of mutants there, and it was great. It was good. You know, like people playing the game that you were enjoying, and obviously I like the anime anyway. I think I watched the anime before I seen the game actually. And I remember when I started the game, I played for about a
same.
week. I played the game for about a week, and then I was like, "Oh, this is too much effort to play whilst I'm playing Dokkan." So then, about a month later, I come back to it, played it, and then it took over from Dokkan and became like my main game I played. Then obviously I started streaming it even more, and then met fucking some sick people there. You know, it's just like, and obviously the game like it's easier to play than like Dokkan is. It seems, when I used to play Dokkan back in the days, it'd be so tedious doing things. And it's like this game, you can just log in, play a bit of PvP, do what you want. You don't have to like if you don't want to commit to it, you don't have to, which is nice.
I'm gonna say something since you mentioned Dokkan. I was on Twitter, work. I mean, I'm working, yes, but I was checking Twitter. I wasted like 30 minutes just reading two people arguing about the new AGL Goku that's gonna release tomorrow. He's not out yet in the game, but they're going like back and forth and just like talking shit to each other about a PNG character who is not even out yet in the game. It's like,
yeah, but people are texting already on private servers. That's why.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that you can still play in private server and everything, but what would you get of this argument about a character that maybe both of you might not even pull because there is no pity in Dokkan? It's like, what would you gain from this argument? Nothing. No one would win anything. And like these type of communities for me is just they have nothing to do else other than arguing on Twitter or on forums online, whatever it is. But these people, I feel sorry for them because they're just wasting their time on stuff that they have no control over. It's like, you're not gonna buff this unit, you're not gonna debuff, like, you're not gonna change the stats, you're not gonna make this unit good by arguing on Twitter. You know?
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention that because, like, that bothered me, actually, because I felt bad for these guys. Sorry.
Liquid has a point.
Yeah. Spirit. Well, you said the jukebox. Is it only jukebox why you started Grand Cross, or what would you enjoy about Grand Cross?
Well, I started Grand Cross because of a bet. I lost a bet, so I tried the game and ended up loving the game.
And then I asked you a question, but you didn't answer me yet, which how much you wailed on Grand Cross, but we will talk about that in private.
Next podcast.
Yeah.
Next one.
Vader. I think I know your answer, but I need to know your answer.
My favorite thing about Grand Cross?
Yeah.
Well, I like the opportunity to collect these amazingly crafted 3D renders of some of my favorite anime characters.
Margaret.
Also, nice
I mean,
emotes.
I really
Guys,
like.
check Vader's emotes on Twitch and his Discord channel. He got, I would say they're the best emotes right now on Twitch for Ludo and Margaret. I love them.
I know. I'm jealous. They look really good.
Especially the Margaret.
But I do really like the style of gameplay. Not necessarily how the gameplay has evolved recently, but you know, the way the game has been created. I really like the aspect of it. I just wish the meta wouldn't change so often. The power creep wasn't so crazy. But I mean, if it wasn't for that, I would genuinely love pretty much everything about this game.
Yep. I thought he was gonna say you're gonna talk about the family and stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean the community. I thought we were just talking about the game itself, but I mean, in my opinion, the Grand Cross community is one of the best communities out there. Like everybody involved is usually just really chill and just fun to work with, and I don't know. I've had a really great time being in this community.
Yeah, it's time to move on.
Damn.
I'm joking. Volume.
Yo,
What's your favorite thing about Grand Cross?
it's actually quite simple. Awakened
It's
Mono.
Epic 7. I knew it.
Awakened Mono.
Yep,
I feel like
Awakened
it goes
Mono.
something catastrophe.
Awakened Mono is the only thing redeeming of the game.
Yeah.
True.
Based.
Simp.
Based.
I really hope they do Mono justice. So
Oh, it's Grand Cross. They're gonna find a way to shit on my face.
wait, what?
And they're gonna shaft her. They always shaft on every single time.
I was saying this to Torque earlier at the beginning before we started the podcast today.
Yeah.
That Alad's actually one of the few people I actually watch for like freaking guides on Grand Cross.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Him and
You
Tony.
watch me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, especially for Tower Trials, that's where I freaking mostly enjoy the content from. Just it's fast and it's short.
That's
Very
definitely.
fast, simple.
Straight.
I think that's where a lot of my like newer viewers come from. I think people just don't really want to like. You see all the like everybody makes videos on like groups of 3. Like they release 3 new tower floors. Everybody groups them all together. I think it's just easier to. I mean, yeah,
Do
you
one
have to
by one.
upload more videos, but if people are just looking for floor 17, like who cares about floor 18 and 19? Nobody wants to like sit through or just I don't know. Like it's just easier to be like, hey, there it is, floor 19, 2-minute, 4-minute video, easy peasy, no
Yeah.
problem.
Like for me, when I consume Grand Cross content for the guides, it used to be Chixua. Now it's Naled and Tony, but Tony quit.
I'm proud of Tony.
Yeah.
He's been wanting to quit for so long. He's been on that bus for so long.
Yeah, he also now doing different content, which I hope he succeed in, like doing actual games, like not gacha games, actual games. So check out his channel. He's not uploading consistently, but he's still uploading. So that's pretty
I
good.
think that's one of the things that like I think
Content
people
creator.
have a lot of burnout on this game, and I think the reason why I can avoid a lot of that is because this is the only gacha game I play. Everybody that plays gacha games seems to play like 3 or 4 at a time. I play this, and then I go play computer games after I'm done. Like I don't have any interest in like extra gacha games. Like this one's got all my attention. I don't have to worry about like splitting up my resources or anything or my time with like other gacha games. Which I don't. That could be good or bad, but.
No, it's
Yeah.
smart because let's be honest. Most of us here play 3 to 4 different gacha games.
I did download
You
Nikkei
ain't even
today
gonna
because
lie.
it came on a PC.
We all gonna play Nikkei.
Yes, sir.
We all
Yes,
gonna
sir.
play Nikkei.
Wasn't
I'm
that
not playing
Chainsaw
Nikkei.
coming to Nikkei or something?
Yeah, it should be in
Chainsaw
like
Man,
5
yeah.
days. That's the only reason I was like, that might be
Nikkei's a-
kind of cool.
Nikkei is a very particular game for particular people. And
They have
Yeah,
the best
well,
character there
I
called Volume. I don't know why Volume's not playing the game. I don't know.
don't want
why.
to be touched. I'm
Okay,
tired of
Dude,
people
I-
summoning me.
I'm going.
It doesn't
guys.
matter. It doesn't matter if he plays the game or not. I don't know how long has the game been out? Like a couple of months.
Yeah.
I think couple, yeah. I think it got released in early October. Like I don't know.
So when I went to do like the tutorial and everything
Yo,
today, because I've
Tony's
never
here.
touched it before today, there's like 30 SSRs already in the game, like in the general pool. Like the odds of pulling volume on that game is ridiculously low. So
I need someone to re-roll me a volume account so I can have my volume count. Let's go.
God, that's a
Shout
huge
out.
thing. Time a new gacha game comes out, everybody's like, "Hey, I re-rolled 48,000 times and finally got the character that I want." But
But
the
they
game's
quit
kind of
after-
boring. I'm gonna quit in 2 days. Like
Yeah,
I'm not wasting my time re-rolling.
That's the
Bro,
cool thing about Epic 7. You get 30 free multis that guarantee you one, and you get to pick what character you want from that you want to start with.
Not gonna lie, Volume. That felt like an ad for Epic 7.
Dude, he's
No,
the
I'm
biggest
just
show I've
saying.
ever seen.
Volume is one giant ad for Epic 7.
No, I'm just saying,
I
like,
play
what other
Epic 7
games have
daily.
that, like, where they have like a
That
reroll
does sound-
system
that
in
does
their
sound
own
good,
game?
yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that does sound like a good thing to
Yeah.
implement.
Yeah, it's good. That's why I mentioned it.
The
Alright, put the claws away, man.
Nikkei now has a PC client. Wait. Yeah, Trinity already has the link.
I'm going,
They're gonna have a
guys.
collab.
Fun.
All right, man.
Was
Have a
fun,
good
man.
day. Yeah, the PC client is out
Yeah.
today,
Alright, later, man.
and I think from today you start to get login bonus for the collab. So
Yeah.
might as well
What's this
download the
collab,
game.
sorry? I missed it.
Chainsaw
Is
Man.
the link in? Is the link in Discord?
Oh.
Try
Do we
to.
know who the actual characters are? Because from my understanding, Kobeni's not in it. I don't think Dingy's even a character, which I guess makes sense because it's literally like all waifus. Like they're all female characters.
It's gonna be 3 units or 3 characters. They even showed the trailer, but I don't know the actual release. Are they all gonna be on the same banner or are they gonna be separate banners? We don't know that yet. Yeah, Tony's only after 1.
Yeah, he's a Himeno fan.
Yeah. But
How big is Nikkei?
Nikkei is 4 gigabytes.
it was like 4 gigs.
Yeah.
40 gigs?
Four.
Oh, I was gonna say just for butt
That's
cheeks in your
It's a lot of apps to
screen?
download.
Yeah. Like the Nikkei game itself, it's like you know why you're downloading the game.
Oh yeah, they got the target demographic down.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that. If you've seen their ads, they know what they're doing.
I mean, honestly, that's the smartest way to play. If you know what your audience is going to be playing the game for, you might as well play into it.
Just
Yeah.
rep it.
I guess I don't know. We have Trinity to make the guides for. Trinity might join the next podcast so you can tell us what you're gonna do in Nikkei, you know, to guide us.
I need that. I need that ass guide as soon as possible.
That's great. But yeah, you're gonna move to Epic 7 real quick because we've been doing this for what, hour and a half. William, tell us quickly what's gonna happen in Epic 7.
Alright, so we're getting a new limited character, called it, by the way, 2 weeks ago. And she is...
Did you clip it?
Well, I called it in my Passionate
okay,
video.
okay.
That every time they
No
release whenever they release Hoochie Shop, that either means A, called B limited, and in this case it's limited. But they just they're releasing another assuming a collab is shortly after. So anyway, we're getting a new limited character. She's pretty good. She looks like your typical aggro cleaver style oriented unit. Her name is Admin. She's going to be giving you really unique playstyle unit, or like how do I say it? She's going to CR push you, which is combat rating push, but at the end of your turn, whoever you pick that unit to be, they'll get an extra 50% boost at the end of their turn. So units like, for example, Blue Kisei, whoever who already do 50% pushing at the end of their turn, will get a guaranteed extra turn. So she's going to be designed for units that want CR pushing at the end of their turn to potentially cut and get an extra. She's also going to be able to cleanse you off for free. The only thing about her that's kind of questionable is that her speed's a bit slow, but she's still fast enough to work in aggro, so she's pretty good.
Yep.
And then outside of that, we're getting ML Bologna tomorrow, which is really hype.
Yeah, and for me, I get Dran skin. I really like it. It like even if you play like you'll play Grand Cross, but you know Sun God, he has the mecha skin that he have. They kind of gave him the same skin that's on Grand right now. It looks really nice. Like he has the white jacket and like it looks really good. I like it.
Just quickly, who's summoned for the new king here?
Me. It's just me. I'm the only guy on the game that played the guy.
Hey, I'm there with you, man. I'm there with you somewhere. I'm just not summoning on king. That's all.
No, I wouldn't blame anybody for skipping him. I tried to play with him yesterday and it was horrible.
Not gonna lie, RELICS got a butt cheeks too, so.
The banner I think
That
only
form-
has Summer Merlin. I think.
But that man
like
has been bad luck since he's released.
I really like that king. I really liked the original one. Like I just thought it was super cool, but whoo-wee, it's just you can't justify after you play with it. You can't say much.
I feel like he doesn't need a lot to be good.
I mean,
He needs fairies.
He could get like a new support unit or something like that and actually be decent. But
There's a couple of fairies that they could release that could really help him.
King is gonna
we
be
just need
good.
new fairies.
This king will be good when they have same name rule. When you can run him and Festival King the Gold Farmer,
Yeah.
then they're gonna benefit each other. but there's
that'd be good.
currently there's no fairies that can help this king. Maybe Glocks.
If they made a second Fairy King, and like a new Glocks, that could be really, or even a new Hellbroom, like a second Fairy King, new Glocks or Hellbroom, and it'd be pretty good, I reckon. Personally.
Yeah.
I think people were. I want to say I've seen it on Twitter or something like that. Somebody had made like a concept art or a concept for the like armored Gloxinia, which would be really, really cool.
Yeah, that would be really nice. It could be a festival. Like, I don't mind. Like, festival doesn't have to be either demons or sins. Please, just.
I know exactly what you mean.
Like, please, give Arthur a festival. I don't know. Even though I don't like Arthur now with the manga with the Four Knights of Apocalypse, but I still like Arthur in the original story. Please give us Excalibur Arthur as an actual festival.
Yeah. Well, it sucks too because it didn't even dawn on me until I did a Holy Relic video for Droll. But all of the new demons are strictly demon. Like it's not like Assault Melee was, where it's like demons or commandments. So Droll and Gloxinia completely get cut off by that, which really sucks. Like I think
they
have
know
no
the
place
commandments
in the
suck
game.
in general. They don't like the commandments are just a waste.
Not really. Hold on. Pause. Have you tried Red Zelda's Relic? Because I did make a test for a full commandment team with Red Zeldris in the front facing a demon team which also could have commandments. And in ungeared PvP, they have average 400k HP. Ungeared. So
That's pretty wild.
Imagine this is only Red Zeldris with the relic. So imagine Festivalist Rosa gets a relic. Imagine Droll already has a relic, but let's say Monspeed, Derriere, all these characters, when they get relics, you might have a commandant mirror, who knows? Blue Derriere can actually be really good as a taunt unit.
Yeah, but you could just use Blue Chandler, Purgatory Melios, and Festival Esterosa and not have to worry about that.
Yes, but commandments will also give Red Zeldris the passive to give extra stats and stuff like I'm just saying, they can play around it to make the commandments come back to the meta. Monspeed, I hope I can see Monspeed again, but I don't know.
I think that's a good concept, man, definitely. I would love to see the commandments make a comeback as well. It's just another thing to think about in PvP, and it really cucks people sometimes. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, there's still so many more commandments that they could make. Like, I mean, the only ones that they've made 3 units out of is what, Derriere and Melascula. Dude, because they haven't made a Grey Road yet, they could make it, and he could actually not have shit stats and compete, and it would be fantastic.
Bro, you know what would have been the best, like, Valentine commandment this year? Monspeed. They already had Derriere as a Valentine unit before. Just give her a Monspeed. It's so easy to do. Like, who gave them the idea for King? Are they gonna release a new DN soon or something? I'm scared.
God, I hope we have so many DNs.
I don't know, man. I mean, Festival DN should get Relic soon too, because the demons now are kind of.
It doesn't matter.
Making it hard.
No, Lid.
Come on, man.
You should know better. The next best unit's gonna be Diane for sure, or it's gonna be what's her name again?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. There you go. Yeah.
We still need an Endura, Monspeed, and Derriere as well.
Yeah, those could be really cool.
It's what we need, but they won't give it to us.
I know, it's like so far gone now. They need to do it, but they could, like, if they recircle around on the story, which they could definitely do, because Dokkan's done it about 1,000 times. So if they recircle around, then that could be good.
A lot of people seem to be speculating that the next sin that we're going to get that's a festival is going to be Sacred Treasure Bond, which I think could be really cool.
Yeah, we haven't had the Bond since, like, I don't count Rag Bond as an actual because he's just a bannered unit. But I'm talking about Festival. I think Bond's going to have another release pretty soon. It's either him or Gother, because Gother didn't have any love since Halloween Gother, which is 2 years ago at this point.
Gother could be good.
Yeah.
With a commandment.
Bond and Gother both kind of get shafted a little bit as far as like units goes.
Yep.
Purgatory Bond was king for a long time.
He's had enough time in the meta for the entirety of the game, probably. But
you could have saved up enough enough diamonds to probably pity whatever
gems.
6 you wanted because the team was so, the team was so play friendly. It was dumb.
I hated that too. I remember making a video whenever Purgatory Bond came out, and I was like, dude, he's too good. Like, you guys don't understand. He's going to ruin the meta. And everybody was like, bro, we need a good Bond unit. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, dude, he's way too good.
Okay, I will ask you a question. I will ask everyone a question. Which meta would you prefer? The Bond meta, where it was so annoying to kill Bond, or this meta, where Escanor, like, all these units are just one-shotting everyone? Like, which meta do you prefer?
I prefer this meta.
I prefer the Bond meta because at least the Bond meta I could use Margaret to destroy them.
I prefer this meta because with Bond meta, he looked like he was on the brink of death, and then his relic came along and revived him for another however long it was, and that was the most annoying thing ever.
I think
then Reinhardt came out.
It was so easy for them to revamp the Bond team. Like, just new support, easy peasy, back in the meta.
Bond has a relic.
Now he needs a
Yeah, he
paragraph
does.
pass and be good.
Pause. DC, what you were saying?
Never mind, I totally forgot it does have a relic.
He has a relic, yeah. Bro.
It's insane how quick he got on.
Yeah, he's the first, I think, to receive a relic, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, his entire team was the first. Like, he got all the relics early. Him, then Arthur, then he got Terry with his relic. Is like, wait, Paul, hey, chill. And then you have like Twigo.
Sweet God.
Yeah.
Sweet God coming.
It's crazy because out of all the bird relics, the first batch were the best. You had a Lilia's relic in there and Bond's relic.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, I prefer this meta. Just because it's a bit challenging. I know it's toxic as fuck, and I hate it. But not as the Bond meta, because Bond meta just... he just got one all turn one.
Fights, in the Bond fights, no one would ever quit. That's what done my head in. No one would quit because they think they can drag it back. That's what you'd have like a fucking 20-minute fight on your hands.
Yeah, it takes long. That's what I'm
win.
trying to say. Like with the demon matches or like the new Melee and Escanor, the match is gonna take 1 minute, 2 minutes max. Because they're either gonna one-shot you or you're gonna one-shot them. So it's back and forth. With the Bond team, yes, you will win in some matches, but they stole a lot. The taxi shit. See, Tony, I hate the taxi too, but if you use Red Zeldris with his relic right now, the taxi got nothing on you. That's why I use Red Zeldris.
I don't feel like the attack shield is even that bad because of the cleanse and like I use Rimmeril, so he's got like a debuff card. So like it's not even that bad. I don't feel like personally.
Yeah, but
It's not CC them 5-ed.
the
attack seals units have low CC.
They do, but they don't dodge for it. So
if you use Ludo and fucking like Melee or Rimmeril or Escanor, then you can just literally if they use a Vade Food, you can still two-shot them. That's two-shot their Merlin.
Yeah, I think Green Awakened Mono can one-shot on a level 1 on Merlin.
Yeah, because obviously type advantage as well. She's hitting super hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
one-shot
exactly
Merlin.
like the Merlin.
DC gonna go live?
Mm-hmm. I don't really mind attack sealing because there's an obvious solution. Bring Margaret.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like the Archangels. We should get an Archangel, I think, this month. I guess next banner could be Mael. 600 banner.
A lot of people seem to be holding out hope that it's going to be Mayo.
Yeah.
The issue is I don't know if the Goddess team will still be good, like because like the units are just falling out of the meta. It's just how it is. Escanor and Meliodas, that were decent.
Well, okay. No. Okay, so the way the Archangels are working right now...
As they die.
No, hold on. There's a
I'm sorry.
potential...
Archangel team is gone.
No, it's not.
It is.
I mean, you could casually play up the champ one, that's fine, but if you're trying to win every game, you'll lose 50% of them.
If you look at all of the Archangels we have right now, like the more recent ones, so like Margaret, Green Sariel, Red Tarmiel, they can all work as supportive units. And support utility units always last way longer and have the potential, like they're a lot easier to
Yeah.
revive later on.
If they have
Versus where
one big
DPS units will just
damage
fall
dealer now,
off.
if they got one big damage dealer like Mael, who could also
Yeah,
do a little bit extra, then they could be a good team.
DPS unit, the way the others can support him would make them work again.
You think he's gonna be a backline or a frontline Vader?
Backline.
God.
The backliner.
No,
If
Mael's
he's
gonna.
a backline, people are gonna be so disappointed.
Yeah, literally.
He would have
They
to be a
can't- they can't
frontline.
do
He
that.
would have to
They
be a
can't make
frontline
festive
DPS unit.
backline like that.
He has to be a
But that would
frontline?
mean the Archangel team suffers the same issues, which is they have 0 backliner.
Well, I mean, really, they just have to give him the melee treatment. If they make him a good DPS unit, but make his passive support his team, it doesn't really matter. Like, he doesn't have to be either front or backline. He can be a DPS unit that kind of revives the team on his own.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My theory about Mael, and I will keep saying that, I feel like Mael is the most useless character in the entire show and manga. I'm not talking about the game. I'm just saying that he didn't do anything, and he's the reason Escanor is dead. So, for me, I feel like he shouldn't do anything, so just put him in the back. Maybe he has...
Rip my boy.
Well, here's the thing, though. His power is literally the one's power, so they're going to make the 1 2.0 and call him Mael and make it strictly for the Goddess team.
If they're gonna do that, it's not gonna be a 600 banner. They have to make it a festival.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's going to be a shitty festival. Let's go.
But yeah,
They'll
Vader.
find some way to make him good. If he's not good, people won't summon, and they want people to summon it.
He would be the one festival that would lose net normal money. He's not hype.
Cusack did that, I think.
God.
Wait, they lost money over Cusack?
Cusack just did not do well. Like Margaret and Cusack, until they buffed Margaret, she didn't do very well. And then
Oh, yeah,
Cusack,
but they released the best back-to-back, so they still had money because Margaret was like the best
Yeah.
argument at the game. This time around, they just released a... No one's going to be summoning for that unit unless you're a Goddess man.
Yeah, Cusack did nothing.
Vader!
For them. They even gave
Yeah.
out free dupe for him. Just how dumb bad they were.
They'll probably do the same thing for Mael. They'll give you a free dupe at the end.
well,
so
it's
people
free
want
if you pulled him, wasn't it? If you pulled him,
Yeah,
it's
that
free.
was so scummy.
Yeah, that was
Can we-
naughty. That was not good.
Have we gotten a support festival unit so far?
Margaret?
Green
Gother?
Zeldris.
Oh yeah,
Margaret
Green
and Gother
Liz.
and Zeldris.
Green Zeldris.
Yeah, Gother's one.
Yeah.
Goddess Liz was.
I don't really count Margaret, because technically Margaret did damage back when she was released, back when she was relevant.
Yeah, when it was Bomb Mash, she could kick him in, like kick his teeth in.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, that's gonna be it for today's episode. It has been, what, almost 2 hours. Damn. Thank you, Nels, for being here. Appreciate you, man. Check out his YouTube channel. This is gonna be on YouTube tomorrow, on the YouTube channel Get Good Podcast. We only have one episode, which is episode 50 on the channel, which we're gonna start uploading from episode 50. That's why I got the question from Drake, and wait, why is the channel only has one video? I was like, yes, episode 50. We're gonna start from 50 and go from there. But yeah, thank you all guys for being here. Aftercast gonna be on DC's channel. He's gonna be streaming Summoner's War, which we could have the main topic about next week. So yeah, thank you guys. Stay safe and bye.
So, what was the drama with Amazing?
There's no drama.